Working on the ring pull up is a great way to build your upper body strength, both generally and if you're working on the ring muscle up. In my years of coaching clients on the gymnastics rings, I've found that there are a few mistakes that seem to come up often for people who are either first working on their ring pull up or trying to learn the false grip pull up. Today, I'm going to go over some of those mistakes and how you can correct them. I'll be working with a false grip for the drills in this video, but just know that this can also apply to your regular grip ring pull-up. Real quick demo of the pull-up. I'm coming from an L position here just because my rings are low, but note I have my false grip. I'm pulling and lowering down. The most common issue that I've seen, especially when someone is just getting started with either false grip pull-ups or pull-ups on the rings, is not pulling full range of motion. Now, it's fine to build that up. So if you're working on your pull-up, that's one thing, and you need to start working on the end ranges in order to get there. I have other videos that go over that in detail. But if you are working on more advanced pull-ups, you're trying to get your ring muscle up, you need to be pulling full range of motion. What I often see when someone's first starting is they pull to here and then come down, right? That's very different than pulling all the way up to this top position and hitting that end range. If you think about your ring muscle up, it's going to be very tough to transition if you're just pulling to here, right? We need to be pulling all the way chest to the rings so that we can transition through. What that looks like is starting from my full hang, I'm coming up, transitioning over the rings. So if you're not hitting that range when you're working on your pull-ups, it's going to be very tough to hit that range when you actually start attempting muscle-ups or muscle-up negatives or any other relevant drills. Another issue that I've seen come up in rings training for many people is using the hips to help get power. I know there are contexts where that does apply and is a thing, but if you're training a strict ring muscle-up and trying to get very proficient with traditional gymnastics rings work, we don't want to be using the hips for that. I'll see people pull and kind of use their hips to help get up there, right? So it's basically making up for missing strength in the upper body by pushing with the hips to help you get up and giving you power that way. We want to work on keeping tension in the hips, but not driving them up. So pulling just from the upper body. The last issue that I've seen come up a little bit less often than those other two, but it does still happen, is people trying to train with the rings really wide. There is a time for a wide grip pull-up, but when you're working on your false grip pull-up to help with your ring muscle up, we want to make sure that the rings are about shoulder width, maybe a little bit wider than that, depending on the person. So I've made my rings a little bit wider here just to show you. If I try to muscle up through here, this is way harder. Now, I might be able to do it, but if I'm trying to get my first muscle up or build my muscle up capacity, it's not going to be a very productive way to train the movement. Again, make sure that the rings are a little bit narrower, shoulder width, maybe a little wider than that, but not super wide. You want to be able to pull chest to the rings and keep your elbows in tight, and that's going to be really hard to do if you're training the wide grip and trying to get a ring muscle up. Key points when you are training your ring pull up or your false grip ring pull up: we want to pull full range of motion, so that's all the way up, chest to the rings. We want to make sure that our hips are not driving our weight so that they help us get up there. We want to really be pulling through the upper body, and we want to make sure that the rings are set at the right width and not too wide. Here's my ring pull up one more time for reference. I'm coming all the way to this bottom position, pulling up all the way, no hips to help, and lowering down all the way with control. I've got some other tutorials that go into more depth on ring pull-ups and rings training in general, so be sure to check those out. If you have questions about this, let me know in the comments and I will help you out.